Imagine a world where only 6% of the top leadership positions are held by women. A world where the scales of power are tipped heavily in favor of one gender. This is not a figment of imagination, but the harsh reality of our world. Unpaid work, often invisible, is a major contributing factor to this leadership gap. Unpaid work encompasses a spectrum of tasks, from domestic chores to caregiving and volunteer work. These tasks, although essential, often go unrecognized. Now, here's a staggering fact. According to the International Labour Organization, women shoulder a whopping 76% of the total hours of unpaid work performed globally. This disproportionate burden of unpaid work on women is a crucial piece of the gender leadership puzzle. So, how does unpaid work contribute to the gender leadership gap? Well, it's quite simple really. Unpaid work often falls heavily on women's shoulders, which means they have less time and energy to devote to career advancement. Gender roles in all societies were traditionally based on caregiving and money-making, where men had the economic, social, and decision-making power, allowing women fewer opportunities to flourish and making them more vulnerable to oppression, abuse, and exploitation. If a woman is the primary breadwinner in a household, she's usually the primary caregiver as well. On the other hand, if a man is a primary breadwinner, he is rarely the primary caregiver. Society's take on a woman's career has always been, she chose to have a career despite being a woman. It's her responsibility to figure out how to balance family and career. Women are primarily responsible for their children's behaviors, academic performance, and the health and well-being of the entire family. Women work much harder to prove their worth, to be considered capable, competent, and confident employees, ideal mothers, and wives. As a result, women often look for professional roles that are less stressful and more flexible and would allow them to reach home early, make dinner, and help the kids with homework. Societies continue to take it for granted. Working mothers all over the world constantly compromise their careers, not for their children, but for the absence of a reliable support system, a partner, or a family that would share the responsibilities of raising children and domestic work. The gender leadership gap, therefore, is not just a workplace issue, but a societal one rooted in the home. How do we expect those responsible for raising children, cooking, doing domestic chores, and helping the children with homework to compete with another group of individuals who do not necessarily have to do any of these? In summary, the heart of the gender leadership gap lies in the unequal distribution of unpaid work. We've uncovered how this imbalance places a heavier burden on women, hindering their progression into leadership roles. The path forward: promoting shared domestic responsibilities and advocating for policy changes that recognize and reduce unpaid work. How long should we ignore the need to train men to take greater responsibilities at home? Organizations have the responsibility to close the gender leadership gap by holding male leaders accountable for maintaining more work-life balance. What if the companies and governments encourage and ensure employees to have more balanced roles and responsibilities outside the workplace as a part of their social responsibility? What if corporates have a more human-centric, rather than completely profit-driven business approach, where performances are not just numbers but a more holistic way of looking at one's work and life, where employees are held accountable for their behaviors both at work and outside of it? This would create not only more women CEOs, but also a more sustainable society where women and men would have equal opportunities to flourish and grow.